Welcome to another episode of Chat and Chew. My name is Gigi Naval, and today's episode is entitled, you're going to love this, Brain Boosting on a Budget, Affordable Foods for Cognitive Health. But before we get into this awesome topic, let's get to know my amazing students. So to my very far right, we have Allison Kim. Hello, Allison.
Hi.
Hi there. Where were you born?
I was born in Southern California. I actually was born in Los Angeles, and I just stuck around here.
Nice, great. We're both SoCal girls.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What made you decide, I want to become a registered dietitian?
So I didn't know up until the end of high school when my teacher asked what I wanted to do, just think about my future.
Yes.
And I remembered that I was pretty obese when I was in 7th grade, and I had to learn all throughout high school how to lose weight, how to cook and join sports and try to be active. And I struggled a lot with that and some eating disorder stuff too. So I wanted to work in a profession where I can help younger kids or anyone that's struggling with what I dealt with, because I didn't have a lot of information out there for me to look up and stuff. So I just wanted to, be a registered dietitian.
Well, kudos to you for the success of going through that difficult time transition in life and being successful now. Now you can pass that on to others in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And then next we have Isabel and your little new last name, because you're newlywed.
It's Chayati.
Chayati, it's a beautiful last name, as well as Soto, your maiden name. Where were you born?
I was born and raised in Florida. Yeah.
All the way on the other side of the United States.
Yes. And I came here for school.
Yes. So, with all of the nutrition and dietetic programs all over the U.S., why Loma Linda? Why travel all the way to the West Coast?
I love Loma Linda because it's in California. It's sunny, great weather all year round. The professors are amazing. So that's honestly the main point that drew me to Loma Linda was the faculty and staff, because I came for a tour, I met everyone. They were so hospitable, so welcoming. And so I felt really comfortable and at home. And I was like, I would love to study here. And they have a great nutrition program. So that's what really drew me here.
Oh, I love hearing that. Well, we're blessed to have you in our program.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So now we have Miss Sabrina. Sabrina, I do know your last name, but I'm blanking out for some reason right now whenever I'm on the air.
Guerrero.
Guerrero, I knew that. It was at the tip of my tongue. And where were you born?
I was born in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. But then you lived most of your life where?
In Belgium. So that was where I was raised.
In beautiful Belgium. Don't you miss Belgium?
I do. I do.
Yeah. Okay. So once you have RD by your name, what is your dream first job?
I have a lot of dream first jobs. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but I think anything in pediatrics would be a dream job. In any outpatient specialty. I'm open to anything, really.
Yes, I love it. God's going to use you mightily in working with the little people. So I love that vision already. That's great. Thank you. All right, Hannah Lou.
Yes.
Hannah Lou, I got to say with confidence. Hannah, where are you from?
So I was born and raised in China, and I also lived in Hong Kong and Taiwan for some time before I moved. My husband and I moved here.
Yes. So you had a different career. What was that?
So I was a CPA in Hong Kong.
Yeah. So what made you decide, I need to switch gears and become a dietitian?
So firstly, I have always been interested in health or science and biology, this kind of stuff. But I didn't have a chance in my first degree. So I think this is a good opportunity for me to learn more about health science.
Right.
And I also saw that some of my friends in Hong Kong, they work so hard and earn good money and good position, but some of them at the expense of their health.
Ooh.
So I also want to learn more about health and help my friends and help my family and of course myself.
Definitely, but very wise of you to see that that lifestyle was really negatively affecting the other important part of their lives, which is their health. So
Yeah.
kudos to you. And we're also blessed to have you. We're blessed to have all four of you in our program. And I'm so sad that this is your last year with us and excited for what the future holds at the same time for every single one of you. So let's get going. Oh, because this is going to be so good. Let me ask them their first question. So any of you could answer this one. Why is caring about your brain health important?
So caring about your brain health is really important because it takes care of your cognitive function, your mental health, and also just your overall well-being. The brain controls some of our most essential functions in our bodies, like our decision-making, our mood, our mental health, and then also just moving, exercising, moving our bodies every single day.
Yeah.
As we age, there is a tendency for our cognitive health to decline if we don't take care of it. And that's how people can develop things like Alzheimer's and dementia. So caring for our health helps us preserve our cognitive functions, but then also helps us maintain independence as we age.
Oh, could you imagine?
and then-
we didn't have that as we got older.
Yeah. And then lastly, something that's really important for, every day is that research shows that caring for your brain health can help you reduce stress and then also decrease the risk of developing signs of depression and anxiety.
Excellent. I mean, these are excellent reasons to care for our brain health. Wow. Thank you. So my next question here is, does diet affect brain health?
Yes, of course. Just imagine your brain as a good car, and a good car needs premium fuel. What you eat becomes fuel to our brain. And if you feed your brain good quality fuel, such as vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, they help your brain to fend off the oxidative stress and keeps it healthy. Also, healthy food provides proteins and fats, which are the building blocks of the brain structure. And on the other hand, if you feed your brain low quality fuel, such as processed food or refined sugar, then your body has very little ability to get rid of these toxins, and they will accumulate and damage your brain health. Some studies have shown that refined sugar is related to mood disorders, such as depression. So diet does impact our brain health.
It does. It certainly does. Wow. That information was, wow. It was a lot, but so good. Thank you. All right. So can any of you explain how certain nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids or even antioxidants, when you were saying antioxidants, I'm like, ooh, we could break that down. So, or antioxidants impact brain health. How do those nutrients impact brain health? Anybody?
That's a great question.
Okay.
Omega-3 fatty acids are so important for our brain health. You can generally find them or eat them in different foods like fish, chia seed, flaxseed, and walnuts.
Yeah.
And why they're so important is that omega-3 fatty acids help build our brain's membrane, which connects brain cells together and enhances memory. And so that's really important. It also acts as an anti-inflammatory, which helps bring down inflammation in our brain that we usually have from things like oxidative stress. So that's super important. And antioxidants are found in colorful fruits and vegetables. And that's really great for oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, we usually comes from the stress that we feel like every day, or from different like pollutants, as well as a poor diet. So increasing our antioxidants really helps bring down or reverse the damage that oxidative stress does within our brain. So these are great things to include in our diets.
Definitely. I hope all of you caught those. And you know what, though? It was so good that you mentioned that our brains can be inflamed. We don't think about that. So good point. All right, moving right along. So what are some examples of foods people can add to their diets to support their brain? I know you had mentioned some already, but
So Isabel mentioned some foods that contain omega-3s. which are very important essential fatty acids in our brain, such as DHA and EPA. So we need to increase our omega-3s by consuming fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. And some good plant-based options for omega-3s would be walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, like Isabel mentioned. Those are really, really great. As for antioxidants, the colorful fruits and vegetables are very important. I like to consume a lot of leafy green vegetables, such as kale and spinach. They contain just a lot of vitamin K and a good amount of antioxidants again. The fruits that really contain a lot of antioxidants are berries, such as blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. Those dark, deep tone red and purple blues, those are the ones that you want to consume because they have a lot of those antioxidants. And then some nuts and seeds are important. Pumpkin seeds and walnuts, they contain vitamin E, which is also considered an antioxidant. So that's really important to consume. And lastly, whole grains such as oats, quinoa, they just provide a steady glucose source for our brain.
Yeah.
We don't want to keep having those glucose spikes in our body, and we don't want our brains to keep crashing on those glucose spikes. So it's important to get those whole grains.
Perfect. That is awesome. Oh, and I love pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
So I think we all do over here. Yum. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Are there any foods or habits people should avoid if they want to keep their brains healthy and sharp?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's a great question.
Okay.
So consuming foods that are really ultra processed, that have a lot of sugar in them, like ready-to-go meals, processed meats, those usually lead to cognitive decline. And so swapping those with like whole foods will definitely improve our brain health. And then a habit that's really important for all of us, especially we struggle, I know all of us struggle with this as students, is sleep. And getting 7 to 8 hours of like consistent quality sleep every night is so important for our brains. And when we sleep, that's a time our brains can consolidate memories and repair. So when we're not getting the sleep that we need, this really impacts our ability to recall, our ability to remember things. And so making sure we have that healthy habit is really important.
Yes. Oh, guys, sleep. I mean, eating well is really important, but that sleep factor can trump all the organic foods, even if you had everything that was organic. So yeah. All right. So let me see. We do have time for one more question before we go over and see what you have to show us. Okay. When people think about brain food, they often think of expensive options like salmon or exotic berries. Are there budget-friendly, because that's what we're talking about, budget-friendly alternatives that offer similar benefits?
Yeah, so I talked about the fatty fish, and berries can be expensive, especially the whole berries, fresh ones. They can, cause a lot of, spending in people, and they rot. A lot of people forget to eat them. So eating frozen fruits and vegetables, they are picked at their ripest times, and that's when they have the peak nutrients, and they have such a good shelf life. So they contain a lot of antioxidants, and another great option would just be to get canned tuna or canned sardines. They pack the same amount of omega-3s as getting fresh salmon, which can be very expensive. So yeah, also peanuts are another great alternative. Walnuts can be expensive, and they also have a good amount of vitamin E.
Look at that. Awesome options. All right, ladies, I am so excited to see what you will be showing us. So feel free to go over to the table. I know the recipes that you have chosen are already going to be so excellent. So, all right, ladies, take it away.
Yeah, so today we're going to be showing you 3 different recipes. We're going to do a salad, a soup, and then a dessert. And our concept for this whole thing was to use a whole pumpkin for each of these recipes. Unfortunately, apparently in December, you cannot find a pumpkin in the store. So we're just using canned, but you can do both. So the idea is like you could have a pumpkin and make all these recipes, but also you can get canned, which is also pretty inexpensive in the store. So I'm going to start off with a kale salad. This salad is a kale salad with apples and pumpkin seed clusters. I've already prepped most of the kale here, but what you want to do is wash all your fruits and vegetables. That's going to go in here. So the fruit in this is apple. Apples are a really great thing to add to salads because they hold their shape. They're crunchy. Sometimes once you add a dressing to a salad, everything starts to get mushy, but apples hold their shape really well. So we're going to go ahead and cup those in cubes, and I'm going to have Isabel help me do that while I explain everything else. I wash the kale, and kale is so easy because you don't have to chop it. At least I don't usually chop it. You want to help me, Hannah?
Okay.
We just break it off the stems. It's really easy and really fast. Make sure to wash your kale really well. It's one of those really dirty greens because of all the curly little nooks and crannies in that like dirt can get into it. So just make sure to wash it really well. Kale is a really tough leafy green, and it's not always the nicest to eat. I think we've all probably had a good kale salad in our life and a bad kale salad in our life, right?
Sure.
So my tip to make it better and like softer and more enjoyable to eat is to make sure to massage it really well. You want to, once you make the dressing, you're going to let it sit for a little bit. That helps down break the fiber and the walls in the green itself, which makes it less tough and also can break down a little bit of the bitterness. So talking about a dressing, we are making a creamy apple cider dressing today. I am just going to mix everything in a bowl, and then we'll pour it in and like massage it. So we're going to start with half a cup of olive oil. If I can open this. I can help. There you go. I got it. Should have done that beforehand, but it's okay. We're going to do half a cup, and I'm just going to mix it all in this little bowl, and I have a whisk. You don't need anything super fancy for this. So half a cup of olive oil. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of apple cider or apple juice. I just used apple juice. And then also 2 tablespoons of unfiltered apple cider vinegar, which I put in here together. So I'm just going to mix that in there. Then we're going to add mayo, so mayonnaise, and 2 tablespoons of that. There you go. And then a little bit of a sweetener. You can do honey, you could do a little bit of sugar. We used maple syrup, and that is 1.5 teaspoons of any sweetener of choice. And then we have our spices and seasonings. We have in this cinnamon, sea salt, and freshly cracked pepper, and all of these amounts are 1/4 teaspoon. So we're just gonna add all that in here, and then we're gonna mix it all together. So this salad is really simple. We're just gonna do the greens and then the apple that Isabel's cutting up right here for me. And we're gonna top it with some walnuts, which walnuts, as we mentioned, are really high in omega-3 fatty acids, and we were talking about how they're really good for your brain health. Like Allison had mentioned, there's a lot of great cheaper alternatives for nuts and seeds, like peanuts, pecans, or cashews, or almonds. Any nut will do in this recipe. So I mix this up, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it in here. And then we'll massage it into the kale. And are you done?
Add the apples. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Look. So I'm not going to do it right now because it'll get pretty messy. But you can go ahead and massage it. You know, do it for like a good couple minutes, and then just let it sit before you serve. That's the key to making a great kale salad. We're going to top it with the apples. I love apples in salad. And then we'll top the salad with some walnuts. And there's a lot of great alternatives. And then some pumpkin seed clusters. Now, I made these. They're really easy. You just heat up some sugar in a pan, mix the pumpkin seeds in it with some cinnamon and some cayenne pepper. And then once it's heat up and all incorporated, just let it cool. And then they'll go into like little clusters like this and break it up. So they're a great little sweet treat or something to add in a salad like this. And Hannah has some really interesting facts about some pumpkin seeds that she's going to share with us.
They look so great. And pumpkin seeds are just so tasty and versatile. They pack lots of zinc and magnesium and even fiber. And we know that zinc is important for our brain health. And magnesium is good for metabolism and heart health. And fiber is also important for bodily function. So just sprinkle these little wonders on your breakfast or in your soup, and or even just as a casual snack.
Yeah.
That looks so good. You want to
so
show
delicious.
the
Yeah,
audience?
so we're done with the salad. This is what it looks like. It looks really good. And then you would just serve that as a side, or you could have it as a meal, whatever you wish. And so we'll move on to Isabel. She has a soup that she's making for us.
Yeah, so I'm making a vegan curried pumpkin lentil soup and going with a pumpkin theme. So first you start off with some olive oil. So could you pass me the
Yes.
olive oil? It's about like a tablespoon, half a tablespoon, just a little bit to get it going. And then you add in 1 onion and then 3 cloves of garlic into your pot. This is a 1-pot meal, so super easy, especially if you prep the ingredients ahead of time. So those go in and you let them sizzle for a little bit. Make sure to stir as they're on the stove. And then you add your carrots in. I use just 1 large carrot. Measurements for this doesn't have to be super precise, so kind of do what your heart wishes. Then you add in your curry, and this is 1 tablespoon of curry powder. And you put this in while everything's sizzling, and the hot stove brings out the oils and the spices and enhances the aroma. And then you add in like a tablespoon of minced garlic, and this gives it a really nice fresh taste. So go ahead, and as that's on the stove, you'll mix it and make sure that's well incorporated, and then add in your black pepper and your salt and sprinkle that in. Again, that's just to taste. So you can do less, you can do more, it's whatever you prefer. And then after that, you can add in your coconut milk. I put a little bit to the side just for garnishing at the end. So it makes a pretty garnish. And then you add your vegetable broth. You can go ahead and dump that in.
Looks so delicious already.
I know.
It's very warm and comforting
Yeah.
to have in the fall time, winter time, around this season.
Can't wait to try it.
Yeah. That garlic smells so good.
I know, it's strong.
Yeah.
It's nice.
We wish you could smell it too.
Yeah.
Yes, so you give that a mix and go ahead and add your lentils in. This is really all just kind of quick and fast, and it's one-time go. And then lastly, your pumpkin,
Yeah.
which you can make, as Sabrina said, from a whole pumpkin, or you can just buy the canned. It's super cheap.
Yeah.
You mix that in and let it simmer on the stove for about 30 minutes. Make sure to stir occasionally so that the lentils don't stick to the bottom and burn. And then once that's done, you get a lovely, nice curry. And you can, like I said, save some of that coconut and just kind of garnish it on the top.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
I'm doing kind of like a little circle. It's gonna be maybe a bit difficult to show you since it's wet, it's like liquid.
It
looks
looks
great.
so fancy.
It's nice. It's good to serve for a dinner for guests.
It looks
Yeah.
so fancy, yes. And speaking of lentil, it's a excellent source of protein and fiber. And it's particularly an important source of protein for vegetarians, because we know that as vegetarians, there are not a whole lot of source of proteins. So lentils packs so much protein, and they're actually also quite balanced. So you can get a lot of benefits from the lentil and add it to as an important part of your macronutrients. And the fiber also keeps your bowel healthy and helps you to lower cholesterol levels.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Hannah.
Okay, so lastly, I'm gonna prepare a pumpkin chia seed pudding. So we're gonna start off first with, I have soy milk here, but really you can use any type of milk you want. So I have my bowl here. I'm gonna mix it in a bowl. Pour in this milk. I'm using about a cup of milk. And once that's poured, it's really easy because you just use one bowl and then you can put it in your serving containers. And then I have pumpkin puree. Again, you can use a whole pumpkin and puree it yourself, but I just got the canned option. Not the pumpkin pie filling, it's the pureed. So then I'm gonna need a half cup of the pumpkin puree into here, just right into the bowl. And then I have my maple syrup, which is my favorite sweetener. And I'm gonna add about 1.5 tablespoons here. So fun fact, 3 teaspoons is about 1 tablespoon. So I have a teaspoon, so I'm gonna do 3 of these.
Oh, I love maple syrup.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Would this work with honey too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
definitely. I would recommend heating the honey up with some hot water before because it,
yeah.
you know.
Okay.
That's smart.
And then I have this pumpkin spice that I found in the aisle, and it adds a lot of flavor as well. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of that.
It smells
smell
so
it.
good.
I know when I was, yeah, it's so good.
Delicious.
And then you just add a little pinch of salt here. And then I have about a 1/4 cup of chia seeds. That's really gonna gel up overnight, and it's gonna add a lot of that pudding substance or texture. So you just mix it up, and then once that's done, you can pour it into one of these serving containers or a little handy, you know, Tupperware. Exactly. And then I topped it off with the clusters that Sabrina made, and they just add a nice crunch to the chia pudding. So, yeah.
That looks delicious.
That looks
Yeah.
amazing.
I didn't know chia seed can go with pumpkin.
I
It's so
know.
interesting.
I know. Yeah.
I guess it can go with almost anything. Chia
Yeah.
seeds are so easy to use.
They're so versatile.
Just soak it, right?
Yeah.
And it has, this little seeds has so much omega-3 and fiber. And it's really important for your brain health.
Yeah.
So just add that to your snack.
Yeah. It's really
Yes.
delicious.
Oh my, ladies. Ladies, why don't you start test tasting
Oh, yeah.
what you've made? Everything looks so good. I'm going to be trying it later on, but go ahead. It looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. It's so important for what you create to be appetizingly beautiful. Right?
Yes.
Oh, and this looks so festive. It reminds me of Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, just looking at it, it looks like pine cones in a way. The brittles of the pumpkin brittles.
Yeah.
Yes, that is fantastic.
I'm gonna dig into yours, Isabel.
There you go.
Try it.
I know,
get a
right?
spoon.
And I never thought that coconut milk could be a nice addition
know.
to adding beauty as a garnish.
Yeah.
So, ooh,
Can serve it with pita bread.
yeah.
That is really good.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be trying that for sure. Could you imagine putting pumpkin and lentils together? Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? All right. Thank you so much for joining us here on Chat and Chew. And I would like to thank my awesome students for being so amazing today. Until next time, take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.